Hey, what's up, Facebook? What's going on? It's Bijal here. I have not gone live in forever, but I had something that I wanted to just get out there into video format. And it's like, tis the season. There's a lot of spending, there's a lot of stuff going out the door. And so I think it's a great time to talk about costs. Say what's up if you're here. I'm going to break it down to three costs that you should at least be familiar with, and you should be able to assign which cost are you paying for different things. So, and let me know if you have questions, by the way. Like, I am really learning a lot more as it relates to money and wealth. Like, I just did a post, I won some crypto for the first time, so I'm a crypto owner, and I'm excited as heck about that. So there are three types of costs out there with business, and you need to know what each of these are. The very first one is the most important one. It's opportunity costs. This is the one that I see people make a mistake on over and over and over and over again. The way you know that you're costing yourself an opportunity is by these kind of statements. I am going to wait until this to do that. So you might think that that is a time cost. It might be, but that's secondary. The actual thing you're losing is that you're losing the opportunity to see, was this decision going to help grow your business? Was it going to be a mistake and shrink your business? Or was it going to be about the same and just pretty much you're going to remain plateaued? People overlook opportunity cost all the time. They assume the trajectory they're going on is going to take on the same pace. So if you're making 10K months and then you make 12K months, you assume you're going to hit 15, you're going to hit 20, and things will systematically go up if you consistently do the same things. And what I want you to know is that the way the game, hey Adrian, what's going on, buddy? The way you know this well, we jam about this stuff. The thing with these costs, with opportunities, is you don't know what is going to happen in the game of business in 3 months. You don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. And oftentimes you don't know what's going to happen next month or the month after that. So talking to my entrepreneur friends, the people that I'm in masterminds with, the people that are crushing it, like doing 500K months and stuff like that, their first freaking year into business, it stops and makes you think, which I'm not doing that, by the way. I'm not doing 500K months. But am I friends with somebody who is? Yes, I am. And I also hired him as my fractional CMO because I'm like, I need you because I am paying for opportunity here. You know something that I don't know. If you scaled your business to 500K months of revenue, it's not even revenue, I think it's cash collected. And I don't know how to do that. I haven't gotten there. Hey, pal, what's up? What's going on? And so these opportunity costs is we put ourselves into this little box and we're like, well, if I did 10K and then if I did 12K and then I'll do 15. And instead it's like, hey, I'm at 10K, I'm at 50K. Why don't I talk and get aligned with somebody who's at 500K, somebody who's already at 1 million or more a month? That person has so much more perspective. And I can tell you by being around this person already, it's been 2 weeks, I have navigated so many poor choices that I would have made using my own experience, my own gut, my own emotional instincts. And he has literally navigated me through from making bad decisions, poor decisions, or not well thought out decisions. Boom. So did it cost to hire him? Yes. Am I going to pay him moving forward? Yes. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Because I wanted to scale my business to a different point by the end of this year. And I'm not there. I'm not dogging myself, but I'm not where I wanted to be at the end of 2021. And there's not a lot of people who are actually willing to admit that. So you hear everyone talk a big game. You never come around and actually hear what they did or didn't do. And I realized for myself that what I fell into was an opportunity cost trap. I did not have the experience in Facebook ads, ads agencies, paid traffic. I don't know that game at all. I didn't know how to play it. So I literally cost myself a year by like barely playing in those waters. And everyone knows that once you hit 50K months, 100K months, you need to jump into paid ads so you can amplify what's already working. But I thought I had done that, but it didn't end up being like the right fit for our business. But then I was too scared to pull out of it because I was afraid that I had already invested so much time, money, and energy and effort into it. So I stopped looking at the facts and started just working on my emotions and fear and trying to rationalize it was going to get better, but it wasn't. It was just bleeding out. So that's your number one cost. If your business is not scaling, if you have inconsistent revenue, if you're not really sure what's going to happen next quarter or next month, and you are on a hope, dream, wish, bated breath, praying to the universe, calling it in and manifesting it, that is not a plan. A plan is to look at where are you the weakest in your business. Is it your marketing department? Is it sales? Is it client experience and the fulfillment part? Is it operations? Like, where is the big leak in your system of your business? And go get that filled. Second cost, let me know if you're here, by the way. If you have questions, holla holla. Hey, Sarah, what's up? What's going on? If you have questions, let me know. If you want an example of another opportunity cost, let me know, because I've made a million of them. I have made so many blunders and mistakes and like just thrown tens of thousands of dollars out the window on stuff I didn't really need, but I thought I needed. And I didn't spend tens of thousands of dollars on the things that I should have needed and should have paid for and should have focused on. So I made a couple mistakes, or I stayed too long in a situation that was no longer beneficial. Like when you get out there and you go to hire someone, whether it's an employee or whether it's an agency or whether it's a vendor that you're partnering up with or whatever it is, mastermind, whatever that is, whoever you pay, you need to assume you're probably going to be wrong about 50% of the time. 50%. You can have a great relationship. You can look at the review. You can look at the gut instincts, and it just does not fit. It wasn't the right thing for you. It wasn't the right time. The sequence was off, or you just energetically don't vibe. So just be aware of that and plan for that cost in your mind that I'm going to be wrong about 50% of the time. But what's worse than being wrong is staying in a situation that's wrong. Also, what's horrible is to leave a good situation trying to seek out something a lot better, trying to live in a land of utopia, thinking something is going to be better out there. And that really comes to masterminds for me. Thinking about, oh, I'm tired of this mastermind, I'm tired of this environment, I've already learned everything I needed to learn, like I've outgrown this. It may be true, but it also may be that that environment has fueled you to exactly where you are, and if you pour into it, it's gonna pour into you. There's no perfect mastermind. It does not make sense to just mastermind hop around, because then it just creates like that dopamine excitement for a little bit and then it's gone. So time costs. Time costs are one of the obvious ones that are out there. Time costs are not just what I described earlier, which is I'll do this in a quarter. I'm going to do this in 2 months. I'm going to save up for this first, and then I'm going to invest in this thing that I know would move the needle on my business. Like everything is telling me this is going to move the needle on my business, or I got a warm referral, or you just know this is the step you need to take, or maybe even a coach told you, hey, you should do this. But you waiting to buy that thing or that offer, it weighs on your mind. And so as you wait quarter after quarter to get the money to pay for the thing, guess what happens? Quarter one turns into quarter two. Quarter two turns into quarter three. Oops, there's some other things I need to buy. Okay, let me go do that. And you turn into somebody who is defined by how much money you currently have rather than how much money you're going to have. Let me know if that distinction makes sense. That's a pretty good one. You need to be defined by how much money you're going to have, how much time you're going to have, not where you currently sit. So I see people make this mistake over and over and over and over again, is they're like, I'm gonna wait, and guess what happens? The business doesn't scale, the business plateaus. The worst thing I've been seeing recently is the business shrinks and crunches on itself and it dies. That's why I put that statistic out the other day, and it really shocked a lot of people, and I'm glad I did that, is Literally 86.3% of business owners make less than a six-figure income, meaning like they take home less than $100,000 a year, like after taxes and all of that stuff. 86%. That's not in their first year of business. That is across their entire time they're in business. So there are so many more people that you are surrounded by, you are inundated by, you are being marketed to, etc., who are not going to cross that threshold of making more than six figures. If you're like me, I did not get into business. I wasn't even in my job to make less than six figures. Like, that's insane. Like, I don't want that lifestyle. I don't want that for myself. I want to be in wealth. I want to build wealth. I want to create wealth, and then I want to leave the wealth behind for my kids and my legacy. And I also want to use my wealth in all the different places I want to support. All the people I want to support, donate to, all of those charitable organizations and those causes. And so that time cost is you thinking something is going to happen and you waiting for it. And then the other time cost that you need to be aware of that so many small business owners make is you have to have a cutoff for how much work are you going to do as the CEO or the founder. At some point, there's always the chicken and the egg game. Oh, I'll wait until I hit 50K months and then I'll hire somebody. I'll wait until I hit 100K months because I'm so afraid. What if I'm not able to pay them? Well, what you do is you keep spending your time. Your time keeps costing you more and more and more. And as a business owner, how many of us have been guilty? I know I have, of doing $10 tasks. Of doing tasks we know we should have had a team member on to do. We should have gone on to Upwork. We should have pulled the trigger. Like, just because I can intellectually build a website does not mean I need to build my own website. It makes no sense. Just because I can intellectually put together and figure out my YouTube ads does not mean that that's actually what I need to do. Like, I don't need to do those things, and I have no interest, and it drains my energy. So there's multiple costs that are associated with that. And then the final cost, which is the obvious one, is monetary costs. Monetary costs are obviously, yes, I pay X and I get Y. The problem is if you don't know how to properly attribute what did you pay for and what did you go out of it. The biggest thing I see people making a mistake on is that they think correlated, I did action step 1 and then I ROI'd that from the program. Listen, my best clients who are making over like 300K months and they're scaling, and just like what I've done with my own business, which is scaling, we're growing, like we're going to crush it next year. We're definitely doing 7 figures next year in revenue, and we're on a path and plan to do that. It's not even a big jump. It's like just going to happen no matter what kind of thing. But again, I wanted that this year. I wanted to get it done this year, right? But I paid some opportunity costs. Well, I'll learn that. So we'll do it by next year, year 3 into our business, we will be at 7 figures. And then the year after that, I've made a commitment to by 2023, I will be at 8 figures of revenue. So playing the game at these different levels, I can't afford to like sit on my laurels and be comfortable. So those monetary costs also happen when I store cash away because I'm so afraid that everything's going to fall apart. I recommend you can have a war chest, but your war chest needs to be like 2 to 3 months of your expenses monthly. That's it. You don't need hordes and hordes and hordes of cash while you wait and you try to incrementally scale your business and do things. So, back to what I was saying. The whole attribution of did you ROI from a program? Listen, the people who are winning, the people like me who are actually scaling their business and our clients who are actually scaling their business, they don't ever attribute it to one thing. They are doing this action. They are taking that action. They've tried this. They've hired this program. They've hired somebody else to do that. They have something else that they're in. There's like 6 or 7 things that caused people's business to actually scale. So if you didn't ROI from a program right away, don't take that to heart. Don't take it upon as a failure to yourself. Don't say, oh my God, I just spent $12,000 or $50,000 and I didn't get a lick back. That might be just your fertilizer that's on the ground and you're about to see that come out in like 3 months. Not all programs are gonna have you ROI right away. Not all programs actually give you a tangible ROI. Like some of the best things I've gotten, which my mentor just pointed out to me this morning, is the intangibles. The parts that I stopped to see, didn't notice, don't pay too much attention to, that is what I paid for. I paid a monetary cost to literally learn the mindset, the thinking, and the resiliency it takes to be a multi 8-figure business owner. That's what I paid the cost for. Has it all shown up in like carrots yet, like out the ground? Not yet. Not yet. But my foundation is set. And so my magnetic energy is on point. I'm willing to take risks. I'm okay putting myself online. I'm okay going live and nobody watching it. And I don't feel bad afterward. I'm like, oh, well, okay, people were busy. It doesn't matter. I don't feel bad if my post doesn't get enough engagement. I don't care. And that entire, like, just the ability to disconnect from the outcome, I paid for that. I gained that through the masterminds and the programs and the people I surrounded myself with. I did not walk into this when I started in this business in January of 2019. I did not have that kind of resiliency. Anytime I would get said no to on an invoice or a proposal, anytime a client would ghost me or a prospect would ghost me, I took it all personally. It would hurt. It would feel like a nick. But I paid the price to get this intangible piece in, which is, oh, okay, cool, that happens. Roll off the shoulder. Next. What's next? What's good for me? What did I learn from this? Okay, cool, let me do the next thing. That is how you win the game. So I've been getting questions from people. What's up, Lucas? One of my favorite, I guess, intangibles is building relationships with people from my masterminds. Like me and Lucas have a solid relationship. We have an accountability partnership. We pour into each other. I get so much out of that relationship that sprouted from literally a monetary investment I made. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect, oh, I'm paying a monetary investment so that I can have a friend for life, a business friend for life, who's not afraid to whoop my ass or call me up when I'm not acting the way that he knows I should be acting, right? So those are some of the intangibles. I'm going to keep these short because I also have to go because my kids are coming home by 5 and I get off now and I don't work and I don't continue to do other things. Those are the 3 costs. So to recap really quickly, 3 costs in business that you need to be aware of and you need to know them through and through, inside out, are opportunity costs, time-based costs, and monetary costs. And those are beyond what just meets the eye. The number one failure point people have is not knowing when they paid with an opportunity cost. That is hurting more people from scaling more than even money costs or time costs. The time costs are you doing everything yourself as a business owner. Go live that solopreneur life where you're working 60 hours a week. No, thank you. Not why I went to business. I could have just stayed in my corporate hustle for that. And the other time hustle is like delay. I'll wait till Q1. I'll wait till Q9. I'll wait until I feel like doing this. Well, good luck. That's not how successful businesses work. That is not how successful businesses work. You have a plan, you hit your targets, you see what you've done right and what you've done right, not done right, you acclimate, you move on. And then the very third cost is the one you're most familiar with is monetary costs. Monetary costs, how much did I pay for something I put out there? What people are not taking into consideration, which I went into much more detail earlier, they're not taking into consideration what was their actual ROI. Thinking there's a one-to-one relationship between I paid this, let's say for a program, and I should get this out does not make sense. People do not play the game like that. It's more like this. Like this is what happens. You do that. You pay for 4 or 5 things, you do 2 or 3 things on your own that you pay with your time, and boom, these things mix up together in a pot and it works. Great, congratulations. It's gonna work for a season. It's going to work for about 3 to 6 months and boom, the game's going to change on you again. So that is monetary costs. So hoarding money, not going to make you more money. Thinking that, oh, I spent on this, but I didn't get an ROI back, that's only going to damage your mentality. You don't exactly know where each program, each investment, each thing that you did really falls and shakes out. Some of the stuff might be building the intangibles within you where you're the warrior or the soldier who's on the path. And you needed that. You needed that protective gear so that you continued on this path. So you don't become one of those statistics that 18 years later still hasn't broken that six-figure income mark. You don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. If you do, great. It's just most people I'm around don't want to achieve those goals. So you have to play the game differently, and you've got to get familiar with all these different costs. If this is helpful to you, please tag me. Let me know what you loved about it. I would appreciate that. If you watch this later, hit me up with a hashtag replay. And furthermore, if this is important and you loved it, share it to your group, share it to your page, tag a friend. I would like to spread the wealth and spread the knowledge that's required to actually gain access to that. So, talk to you later, guys.